How Inoue tricked Fulton to fall short on his shots and walk into his punches. Fulton had a comfortable range advantage that was expected to give Inoue some trouble during the fight. After all, Fulton is a slick boxer with a really solid jab. But that's not what happened. Fulton had problems landing his shots, consistently falling short, while Inoue had no trouble cutting the distance and landing his shots. Inoue had tricked Fulton into chasing him. But how did he do it? The first thing that Inoue did was to start at the right distance. This means that Inoue will not start at the end of his own punching range, but he will stay away of Fulton's punching range. Inoue starts outside of Fulton's punching range. We can see that because their lead foots are far from each other. Fulton steps in, but that's not enough to cut the distance. Inoue was safe all along. If Inoue had started at Fulton's range, he will be too close to see and defend those punches. Instead, by standing just outside of punching range, Inoue was preventing Fulton from landing easy shots on him or accumulating damage. Inoue was also throwing off Fulton's game plan. Since he was expecting Inoue to come at him, now Fulton had to adjust on the fly. Lastly, now Fulton is losing confidence on his skill set. These three things will eventually frustrate Fulton into chasing Inoue, but not yet. We have Inoue being the one moving towards Fulton. Really important to notice that even though Inoue is moving forward, he never gets closer than Fulton's lead foot. He's still keeping a safe distance. The secret is, get close enough to make them feel like they can punch you, but far away enough that you can see the punch coming. Inches in, but if you notice, we are still at a safe distance. Inoue hasn't crossed this line from Fulton's lead foot. Because Inoue is not overstepping, Fulton is going to fall short. Really important. This tactic won't work if you're standing just outside of punching range passively. While Inoue is standing outside of range and maintaining distance, he always looks like a threat to Fulton. He's like a wolf, chasing his prey, waiting for the right moment to attack. Fulton steps in. As we can see, now that Fulton is kind of closing that line, he's going to try to throw that jab. And again, because he started from a little bit too far, he's not really crossing that line, he's going to fall short. Now, the problem with this is that Fulton is getting used to chase Inoue. So after this jab, he's not really going to pull back. He stays pretty much on the same spot after the jab. Inoue takes advantage of this to throw a jab of his own right away. And it's hard for Fulton to see this punch coming because he's already on chasing mode. We can see that after missing that jab, Fulton was preparing to reach out and measuring, and as he was measuring coming in, Inoue is going to catch him coming back at him right away. And the difference is that now that Inoue has landed a shot, he's going to pull back right away to prevent Fulton from punching him back. After a few exchanges like this, where people are falling consistently short, they will slowly get closer and closer to you. This is how Inoue created momentum during the fight and tricked Fulton into chasing him. Fulton was in this lose-lose situation where he was behind on points, so he had no choice but to bring the fight towards Inoue. But as soon as he closed the distance, Inoue will beat him to the punch. This will make him fall even further behind on points, and it will restart the whole cycle. As Fulton keeps moving forward, Inoue inches back, and as Fulton steps in and puts his weight on the front foot, Inoue is going to catch him. Inoue just landed a couple of shots, Fulton gets pushed back, and what's the next thing he's going to do? Get back at it. He's going to get back to chasing Inoue. And again, as soon as he puts weight on his front foot, Inoue is going to punch back, pushing him back. So let's watch again this whole sequence. And goes back to the same thing, inching closer and closer, more than he needs to, and as soon as his foot is in range, Inoue is pushing him back. Quite cool, right? If you frustrate your opponent, you can get them to do the heavy lifting for you. In this case, Fulton was cutting the distance for Inoue. The tall fighter was giving away his range and he was getting punished for it. And right here, this is the sequence just before the knockout. Let's see again how Fulton stepping in. Let's pay attention to his lead leg. And as soon as he puts that on the ground too close, Inoue is already beating him to the punch, coming straight at him. And with this cross is the beginning of the end. Tricking your opponent into chasing you can give you a huge advantage on your next fight. Other examples of fighters using this tactic are Valdez against Berchelt and Beterbiev against Smith Jr. Let me know in the comments what do you think about the video and what do you think about this technique. Thanks for watching.